2000 to 2006 CL55 Mercedes front install. Oh, by the way, I'm Lou Santiago. Safely raise the vehicle and remove the front wheels. Okay, you're going to have to remove the front valance and bleed off the hydraulic pressure that goes to the strut. Be careful not to mess up the valance. Okay, you see here all these panels? Those plastic panels, guys, take care in it, alright? You don't want to go stripping out bolts or breaking Christmas tree holders. Just take care, take your time, and you'll be fine. Now this is easy peasy. All you're going to do is get some kind of catch can so you don't make a mess. You're going to put it underneath the bleeder valve, crack the line, let it drain so there's no pressure on it, tighten the fitting, back up. Close the bleeder valve and reinstall the lower valance panels. Remove the lower mounting set screws located on each side of the strut. Now I'm going to let you guys know, that's a 5mm Allen plug. If you run into trouble, get yourself a little propane torch, get a couple of rags soaked in water, wrap it, heat that up. Don't go crazy with the heat because it is under pressure. Heat it and then work the plug out slowly. That plug is going to be covered in Loctite, and sometimes that's what you got to do. Use a pry bar on the lower control arm to move the strut off the pin and to one side. Remove the bracket, disconnect the hydraulic line using the quick disconnect. Now guys, I'm not going to lie to you. Sometimes those quick disconnect fittings aren't that quick. You may have to do some wrestling. Or as they like to say in the South, wrestling. Remove the strut electronic wire and the 3 top strut nuts. Remove the strut from the vehicle. Now right here you want to squeeze that plug. It's kind of like golf. Grip it and rip it. You won't need this wire again, so just put it somewhere where it's out of the way. Remove the new strut from the Strutmasters box and install it into the vehicle. If this is the first strut, you're 50% there if you're just doing the front. If you're doing all 4, you're a quarter of the way. Now, when you put the strut up in place, you want to get those 3 top nuts on. This way, it helps hold the strut while you're putting on the bottom side. Use a pry bar on the lower control arm to push it down and then position the new strut over the pin. Now guys, in some instances, you might have to separate the upper control arm from the spindle when you're putting in the strut. That's not a big deal. Just separate the two, put it in, put it back together, and you'll be fine. In some instances, it's not written in stone. Once you've put it back together and you've ensured that the pin is properly seated inside the strut, tighten up the lower set screws and the upper strut nuts. Now, if you want to make sure that the strut is seated properly, the rubber boot is going to touch the bottom of the strut. If it doesn't touch it, it ain't seated properly. At this point, you're going to use the enclosed brass cap or plug. The plug comes when you purchase the module to seal the hydraulic brake line. If you purchase the module, then insert the enclosed plug into the vehicle hydraulic line. Check to ensure that the hydraulic lines are plugged and the set screws are tight. Tighten the top strut nuts located under the hood. Install the front tire and safely lower the vehicle to the ground. And there you have it, the mechanical install portion of the CL55 front struts. If you've purchased the module, all you got to do is follow the instructions or call one of our tech support for help.